Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of The Out Route. I'm your host, Lauren Screeden, and we have a special guest today, as always. You may know her from her Chicago Cubs content, Backyard Sports, or most recently, her crochet jersey that has taken social media by storm. It's my dear friend, Caitlin Hendricks.
Welcome to The Out Route with your host, Lauren Screeden.
Yay! The crochet is crazy. It's crazy.
You finished it in time for opening day.
I did, but I literally wasn't even going to post my first video because I was like, nobody cares about this. Like, a bunch of dudes follow me. But then I got so many girls that followed me. I had been losing followers. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, you're a crocheter? Let's follow that girl. And they love it. They love the journey.
They love the journey. That's what we need to figure out. You and I need to figure out
Mhm.
how to get a female audience. And you
I know.
are, mark it in the history books, you are the first female on this podcast.
That's the coolest thing ever, actually.
Yeah.
This is a big moment. This is a big moment.
Big moment. And I'm like, well, this is the problem. This is why I have all male followers, though. I have these are the guests. These are the, it's sports. It's blessing and a curse.
Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of crocheters now.
Amazing. I love it. Maybe they'll like my sourdough content and everything else,
They should, because all of your cooking content is just no pun intended, chef's kiss. It's so good.
Well, that's the problem, though. The people who follow for cooking, who actually want recipes, I'm not hitting them because they're like, this is not stuff that we're going to make.
You need the comedic cookers, the realistic, relatable. You need the me's because I can't cook.
Yeah, just clone yourself times 100,000 and then I
think the world would love that.
Okay, I want to talk about, though, how you first got into social media, because you've built an awesome following, and I know you've been doing it for a few years now.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like everybody who tells people when they got into social media, it's always 2020 COVID, which is exactly my story. Because I was stuck in an apartment by myself and I was single. I had just moved back to Chicago from LA. So it was like, oh, welcome back to Chicago, stay inside. And I basically was just like, okay, well, I'm going to make content because I'm bored. I don't know what this TikTok thing is, but I downloaded it. I started making TikToks and nothing really was happening for a bit. And I was just making comedy videos. I started doing a lot of comedy dating videos because again I was single, and then I did a video that do you watch Schitt's Creek?
Yes, love it.
Best show ever. And I had never seen it until COVID because everyone told me that I was Alexis Rose, which all I knew about the show was that she was an idiot. So I was like, what are you guys saying about me? What are we saying?
Wait, I never heard that comparison before. I could kind of see it. Do you do the dance a little bit, Alexis?
Well, that's what I was going to say. My first video that went viral was me doing a little bit Alexis, because I did the trend that was when you walk into the bathroom and you're one day after I'm watching Schitt's Creek, 2 days, and then it's you get more and more the characters. That's what I was doing as Alexis Rose, and then I ended of me doing a little bit Alexis. And that was when I first got followers, and that got me to 10K followers. And then I wasn't doing sports at all. Literally it was comedy, millennial, and then dating stuff. And then MLB came out and was like, we have this TikTok creator class thing. Let's do it. Put a video out on TikTok and good luck. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this because I love sports. I have 4 brothers. I would be absolutely crucified if I didn't. And I made a video that was me inserting myself into mic'd up videos from MLB and from different teams. And it was saying why I should be in the creator class. One of them was she's an angel. I remember that one. It was who would be better than me? And somebody goes, nobody. And it ended up getting in front of them and they picked me. So that's kind of how I got into the sports side. I feel like I answered a couple questions without you asking them there. But
okay, so MLB creator class.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
It basically was they picked, I want to say 10 of us or something. I change the number every time somebody asks me, but they picked a handful of us. And we were kind of the guinea pig class because we didn't get to actually start posting until maybe end of August or September, which is the end of the season. But they wanted it to be, and then it became in the years to come where you basically just get to make a lot of cool TikToks with MLB and you get a lot of cool opportunities, and they would link you up different brands. So I was one of two girls in the class, and because of that, I got chosen for like a lot of brand deals with them. So like during World Series, they took us to the World Series, and that was the Astros Braves World Series in 2021. And I got to make content with Fox Sports. So the Astros stadium, they have a train that like rides up top and like it goes like whenever there's home runs. So I got to like ride the train and we pretended that we were catching BP, catching home runs from BP up there and completely faked a video saying that like we caught a ball, but like the people believed it. I was like, I guess we're good at acting as well.
Fake it till you make
But
it.
I know, right? But yeah, and that Braves, I was supposed to race. I think they have a guy. What is his name? I want to say they call him the Freeze. I'm gonna have to look that up. He's
Okay.
like one of their like not mascots, but he does things and people know him and I guess kind of a mascot and he's really fast. And I was gonna race him, but then that game ended up being like really rainy, so we ended up eating a lot of really good food, which I'm not complaining. But I got to do stuff like that. So we were like contracted to make X amount of videos per month, and then that kind of snowballed into connecting me with the Cubs, which was ironic because Nicole, who you know, who's one of my really good friends, who's my maid of honor, was in charge of social there. I had to like go through MLB to get to her. I was like, can I just text her? She's my friend.
You're like, I saw her last night. So
I was like, this will go so much faster if you just let me call her really quick. But that like connected me to the Cubs. And then that's kind of how I started doing stuff with the Cubs through that. But yeah, basically just making TikToks for MLB and getting to do cool things.
and once you finally got to do stuff with the Cubs, I mean, you are a Chicago girl, right? Well, suburbs. Where were you born?
Suburbs.
Born and raised?
Mundelein,
Okay.
Illinois, way north. Almost Wisconsin.
Beautiful this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I assume you grew up a Cubs fan and that was probably
Yep.
just dream come true, being at Wrigley,
Yeah.
making content.
Yeah. And like I said, four brothers. And I joke that out of all four brothers, three of which played baseball, two played college, I'm the only one that made it to the major leagues. So, haha.
I love that. Now let's talk about brothers for a second,
Yeah.
because the rate at which I spread the rumor that you were Kyle Hendricks' sister, and for those who don't know, Kyle Hendricks played for the Cubs for a long time. There was a bit that you did on social media that was like, I'm Kyle Hendricks' sister. And I didn't know you. I mean, we met a couple years ago and you were coming
Yeah.
to Bears training camp. And I remember I saw George McCaskey walking out to training camp. He said, "Oh, what are you doing today?" And I said, "Oh, there's some creators coming and we're, going to make some content, whatever." "Oh, who is it?" He said, "You're a big Cubs fan. It's Kyle Hendricks' sister." I'm telling the
I don't
owner of
think
the
I knew
Bears
that you
this.
did that. That is
For
so funny.
months. For months. I mean, I was like, my dad would be like, "Oh, like your friend's brother watched him pitch today." I was telling everyone, and this was like a long time after we were friends. And I remember even telling our friend Annie Agar,
Yeah.
we love her even though she's a Packers fan. But
Yeah.
I was like, I need to ask you something. Is she not actually related to Kyle Hendricks?
Why did you just ask
So,
me?
because I was embarrassed. I had known you for literally almost a year. Like, it was crazy.
would-
So tell me about the bit, because you made me look really stupid.
Is it a bit or am I his sister? I don't know.
At this
Still,
point,
up in the
I'm
air.
just going to keep telling people that you're related.
As you should. I don't even know. Like, it started during creator class, actually, because the first time that I did Cub stuff, we got on the field and I brought my brother, and Kyle was just playing catch in the outfield. And I was like, Nicole, I have to talk to Kyle Hendricks. We have the same name. So I don't even remember. Like, I don't know if she like said something to him. I don't remember how that happened, but we ended up talking to him. And we were just like making jokes, like, "Oh yes, he had Thanksgiving. Like Aunt Carol, she's crazy." And like he was so funny doing it. And we like got a picture, and it was great. And then from there, I just kind of started like making content, like being like, "Oh, watching my brother pitch today." But like every single thing that I would post, it'd be like watching my brother and like wink, or if it had like on screen text, it'd have like an asterisk next to it. But people just didn't pick up on it. Like people didn't get it. Still
Yep.
don't. Because like I will get DMs all the time being like, "Hey, can your brother sign a baseball?" And I was like, sure he could, but I don't think you're gonna want it, considering my brothers are not professional players. I almost named our puppy Kyle because I was like, that's just funny.
That's funny.
But he was like, he's literally so great about it. And I wish he had social media so that I could like message him when I do these things, but he is an off social kind of guy. But I like re-met him again at CubsCon. I did a bunch of their like blue carpet content a couple years in a row, and we did like a whole series of things where like I was making a video talking to the camera, and then he comes in, he's like, "Hey, Caitlin, mom wants you," and I'm like, "Kyle, like you always do this." And then we like took like siblings photos, like the awkward family photos. We did those. And he's just like so cool about it. And he's like, I love this. We have to keep this going. It's so funny. And he has like an actual sister. And I'm like, I hope I don't offend her. His dad was there when we were doing our awkward family photos and he thought it was hilarious. Like it's just been like a funny bit and Kyle's so down with it. Like if he wasn't, I wouldn't do it. But it's just been like this funny thing that I continue doing because it's funny and people believe it.
That's
Like every
hilarious.
time I see Kyle somewhere, I was at where was it? Oh, when I was at spring training, they were playing the Guardians, which if you know, you know, but that's who we beat in the 2016 World Series when they were the Indians. And my husband is an Indians/Guardians fan. So I just love rubbing that in his face. But we there on the video board was a bunch of video of Kyle, just like randomly as I'm there, like pitching. And it wasn't even like the World Series game that they were re-showing, but I posted something. I was like, "Ugh, I can never get away from my brother. Like he will always overshadow me." And I like people just believe it. And I'm gonna let them. I won't tell them any different.
Why not? We're here
I
for the
know.
bit.
I know.
I want to go back to your real brothers, though.
Yeah.
Four of them. What was it like
Yeah.
growing up with four brothers? And you're the youngest?
No, second oldest.
No. Oh, you're second. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I know. I'm like, my parents had one of each.
what is that like? Right. Well, that's why I kind of figured you were the youngest because I'm like, oh, they must
No,
have just like tried and then stopped because five kids, that's a lot.
no, I know. I know. I don't know. My mom was pregnant like all of her 30s. I was like quite the opposite for me.
Couldn't be us.
Couldn't be us. But anyways, I every time people ask me that, I'm like, I don't know, because it's like I didn't know any different. So like I never grew up with sisters. I had a cousin who I was really close with that was a girl. She was my age. I'm actually bringing her to opening day tomorrow. So she was like the closest thing I had to a sister, but like sports, roughhousing, making fun of each other. It was just, what I knew. So I didn't really know any different from that. And I loved it. I wouldn't want it any other way. I feel like I'd be way too competitive with an actual sister. I'd be like, I'm prettier, I'm smarter, I'm more athletic.
Dude, you're the most competitive person I know. So, yeah, that would be a
Four
nightmare.
brothers. Yep. Yep. I know.
I have one brother. He's 1 year older than me. And so I know what you mean by like
Yeah.
that's all you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be really interesting to grow up with a sister. Do you feel like that has changed your relationship like with people, with girls? Like do you have a lot of girlfriends?
I mean, yes and no. I feel like I've like gone through friends throughout my life where it's like maybe I'm just evolving and they are going in a different direction. Like a bunch of my high school friends, I feel like I am no longer close with. But then I feel like I gained new friends. Like I gained you and like Annie and Dana and like I now have new sports friends, I guess, that kind of like really fit the bill with like my personality and like where I'm at in life. And like we get along so well and you guys have the same sense of humor as me. And it's always fun hanging out with you guys. But then like close friends from like way back when, I have like a handful,
Yeah.
but I don't think that they understand like the sports world or like the bro side of me
Yeah.
so much.
But
You
that's
know?
kind of fun though. I mean, I love that because like you said, it's like we have our little sports group. And
Yeah.
then honestly, there's times where like, yeah, you don't want to talk about sports. Like my best
Yeah.
friend would not know, God love her, would not know what ball hit her in the head. And shout out Sherry, I love you. But that's what's so nice. It's like, yeah, I have this big work event and it's like a game or
Yeah.
whatever. And she'll try and understand, but it's not like people want to dissect every part of
Hmm.
every game, and especially Chicago sports fans and
Yeah.
guys. It's like, yeah, sometimes you just don't want to talk about sports.
Yeah. And it's probably a little different for you too, because like you actually work like in a very like analytical kind of space where like you need to know all the players, what they're doing, the stats, like you need to know everything because you're like interviewing these people. Where I'm kind of like more on the, I'm just a fan kind of side where I'm
I
making
love
content
that.
like as a fan.
That's
I
where the
know.
fun content is, though.
Yeah.
That's where
Yeah.
that's
And I
where it
mean,
is.
I wouldn't want to be the more analytical because, like, admittedly, I don't know all of the things when it comes to like stats. Like, I'm not gonna be a broadcaster. I'm not gonna be a sideline reporter because I just don't know that stuff. I'm there for the hot dogs and the beers and the good vibes, you know? So I'm like, I'm luckier where like people don't necessarily always want to dissect it. And I think that's more fun. Like if I get to have a conversation with people where I'm like, I can make fun of teams and like I can be like, oh, we're playing the Nationals. Like who really cares about the Nationals on opening day? Like they're not going to be competitors. Like I can like make jokes like that. And like I can know the like base storylines of like teams. And like I make a lot of videos like skits where I'm like saying what team's doing this. Like if you were, which MLB team would be which kind like stereotype of boyfriend or something like that. I can make videos like that. But like I'm not going to be like, here's the breaking news for whatever just
Yeah.
happened. Like if it's something like Pete Crow
Right.
Armstrong who just got signed a 6-year deal, 115 million, I could say that. But like you are definitely very more like you got to dissect the things, which I don't envy you because it's a lot of stuff you got to keep in your brain. There's only so much space up here.
But that's the part that I've tried to lean more into, like the fan content. And
Yeah, for sure.
thankfully, the Bears were good this year, so it was a lot easier to do
I
that. Because
know.
yeah, when we're not winning, you can't make fun of us. Even though, I mean, our group chat, I say the funniest things
Of
that could
course.
never go public.
Never. No.
But
Someday, but like
someday, but TBD. Stay tuned for that one.
no, our group chat I think is like the best place ever because you can say whatever you want and we all laugh because we're all funny.
But you guys were out like watching the games and stuff. That's the thing. Our seasons don't like
Yeah.
overlap. So you guys were watching
Yeah.
the games and I was having major FOMO. Yeah, it was fun to be at like the playoff games and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, wait, they're at a bar. I want to go.
Yeah. I want to watch Annie cry because the Packers lost.
Right?
Poor Annie.
Like, oh, poor thing.
Bless her heart. But it
We
was
love
her
her.
idea to go to a Bears bar, so
Fair.
yeah.
You
And
deserve
I was
it.
having a good time. Not because she was crying, but I was having a good time.
Right. Okay, so you're enjoying doing the MLB content. Would you go back to do some of the millennial type stuff that you did when you started?
Yeah, I would like to, but I feel like because like the algorithm is just such a weird place, which where like I have 89,000 followers, which not like tooting my own horn, but 89,000 on TikTok. And my views are like 500. It makes zero sense.
The 300 view jail is just
Oh my
brutal.
gosh, it's ridiculous.
And I don't know how to get out of it.
Neither do I. It's insane. But that's like the problem with it, where if I were to start posting millennial stuff again, the algorithm's going to be like, this isn't baseball. What are you doing? Nobody cares about this. Like, shush. And then that will be even worse. So I'm like, it's hard to, when you're doing sports, you're making sports content, it's hard to do anything else because the people that follow you are sports fans and like sports fans want their sports. They don't want to,
Yeah.
unless you're crocheting, they don't want to see your life.
Unless you're crocheting. But
Yeah.
you did make a crossover into wedding content. You leaned into the
Yes.
bride side this last year. Caitlin got married in September. So congrats.
6
You
months
made it.
tomorrow.
I was going to say, how many months? 6 months.
6 months tomorrow. I still don't have my wedding video.
Congratulations. Well,
It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine.
It's fine. I want to talk about your wedding. It was amazing. You had a Portillo's cheese fountain. So say
You're
less.
in some pictures while we're doing the cheese
Was
fountain.
I sticking my face under it? It was
you
so
like
funny because
through the window being like,
we were standing at the outside bar and you guys were doing all these pictures with the Portillo stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, I don't know what kind of flash is on that camera, but I think we're in the background of all of these.
You were.
And Dana was like, no, it's inside. It's fine. I'm like, okay.
Nope. I could mostly see you. Like, I think there's like one of Annie where she's like poking her head in and smiling. Dana's just like in the background, so you don't see her as much. But like for sure, I was like, oh, there's Lauren.
It's like one of those things where you can't not look, It's like, don't look over there. And I'm
It was the funniest thing because I don't think I had gotten to talk to you guys yet. And then
You
it was
didn't.
time for the
Yeah.
Portillo's photo shoot. And I was like, the most perfect people to be watching right now. Like my social media friends.
Here we are.
I also put you guys like front row on the dance floor because I was like, if I want content, they're going to be the girls that are going to get content. So
We had phones were
I
out.
know.
It was good. So if you don't get the wedding video, I'm sure we could piece something together for you.
I know. Did I tell you about the wedding video at all? Like, we got like a preview of it, and then not a preview. We got what they said was going to be delivered, but our videographer did not include any footage of me walking down the aisle with my dad, and then included no footage of Matt and his mom's dance. And then the line that he used in my wedding video, the line that he used from my brother-in-law's speech was calling Matt Charles Manson. I was like, maybe we don't. Maybe we use our brains
Okay.
and
Yeah.
let's just rework that. So that's where
not
we're at.
even like micromanaging. That's just like, why would you
Common
do that? Because
sense.
that was difficult for me too. I mean, we got like, they give you the teaser video and then
Yeah.
you have like
I
a
didn't even
short
get the teaser.
version.
I didn't get the teaser until I got the full delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to do a couple rounds of edits and I still don't
Yeah.
like it was like the memory lives up here because what they put in there was just not it. I'm like, that's what you're taking from the speeches? Like, what are you doing? I will say my dad had a very funny line and they included that in the teaser. It was like he was talking about Kevin being in the Marines and he's like,
Yeah.
and one day Kevin said, I want to do something that's like greater than that's greater than myself. I want to,
Yeah.
crawl through dirt. I want to do all this. I want to get yelled at, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, and that's the day he asked me to marry Lauren. And so I was like, my dad's wedding speech was very good. And so I was like, can you include that line? Even though it's ripping on me, can you include that line, please?
Yeah.
Because that was funny. Why are you? And it was like some groomsman going, cheers to forever. I'm like, no.
You're like, do you know me at all?
What are we doing here?
I'm not the cheesy kind of girl, okay? Let's Portillo's cheese fountain.
Yeah.
No, literally, I was like, the fact that me walking down the aisle isn't included at all.
We were talking a little bit about social media and how you have to make that switch if you're doing stuff. You did lean into the bride side. And Matt, your lovely husband, he only got put on the gram after you guys were engaged. There was no sign of him, which we did kind of share that. I kept Kevin off for a very long time. Also, and now they've both made their way on.
They made their way.
That was a very conscious decision. You were like, unless there's a ring on the finger, I'm not doing it, right?
Yep, absolutely. Because I was like, I think it would have been different if I didn't make content and wasn't in like the sports world, because I feel like as a woman, like the second you show a guy, like all the guys that follow you, I don't know why they like somehow think that they're going to date you or something. And it's like, oh, well, I can't date you. So like, bye, I'm not going to follow you anymore. And they like don't actually care about the content. So I think that was part of it. But then also I was like, one, I don't want to like post somebody and because I do make content. And then if it didn't, God forbid, work out, then have to make a post saying I'm no longer with them or like have people like wondering. I was like, I don't want to do that. And it also was just kind of like a fun thing to have something just for myself. And then once there was a ring on the finger, be like, surprise.
Does Matt have any desire to do social media? Because you've roped him into a few skits.
Yeah. He's a team player. He doesn't care about posting at all. But like if I want him to be in something, like he has no qualms about it. He'll do it in a second and he'll crush it. He's got the lip sync down now, I think.
Amazing.
I know.
How did you guys meet? I love this story. I know, but you can tell the listeners.
Met on Hinge 2018 and we dated for 3 months. And then I say that we mutually ghosted each other. He says it's not mutual. So then we waited 2.5 years. And after 2.5 years, he followed me. He was like on a solo trip in Utah during COVID. And he followed me. And I was drinking wine by myself and was a little tipsy and saw it. So I followed him back and then I DM'd him. I was like, what up? And somehow, some way he like
so you
asked if
slid into the DMs.
I slid into the DMs. But he followed me first, okay? So and then he was he asked if I had the same number from 2018, which I did. So then we started texting and took me about a year to actually decide that he was in fact my boyfriend, even though we were long distance the entire time. And then we dated for, I don't even know how long, a couple years, and then got engaged, and now we're married, and we have a puppy.
And we are gonna get to that because I get more excited about dog
Mhm.
moms than real moms.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's bad for the female audience.
We love
I love
moms.
all the moms out there. But you were long distance where to where?
Mhm. Everywhere. So we met in California, and then I had moved back to Chicago 2019, like end of 2019. And then when we started talking, it was end of 2020. So he was still in California, and then I was in Chicago. And then he, because it was COVID, he just kind of like wanted to go live wherever and just explore the US, I guess, because he could work remote. So he went to New York for a little bit. So then we were like long distance New York. He'd like come stay in Chicago for like a month. He's from Cleveland, so he'd go back to Cleveland. And then he ended up getting a job with MLB. I was like, "Can I have my own things, sir?" He started working for
Stop
MLB.
following me.
Stop trying to be like me. And he was there for like a year. So he had to live in New York while working there. So most of it was New York, Chicago, and I worked remote. So we could go back and forth and visit each other. And then he now works for PGA Tour. And when he got that job, he was able to work remote again because they're based in Florida. And I'm just not a Florida girl. I can't do it. It's like, oh, so you can move to Chicago? Perfect. So then he moved to Chicago. I don't even remember what year, but once he got the PGA job, he moved. And
So
the
what were
rest is
you doing in
history.
California?
I moved out to this is actually kind of funny too. I don't know if you know this, but so I moved to California in 2015, and before that I was living in Lakeview, and Matt randomly was also living in Lakeview, like maybe 10 minutes from where I lived, and we just like didn't know each other. And then 2015 we both moved to California without a job because we wanted to live in California, which is so weird to me that we were like in the same place, had the exact same idea, did the exact same thing at the exact same time, but like
That's
didn't
wild.
meet each other for 3 years after that. I know, isn't that weird?
But you were just
But I
like
just
doing
literally,
the same thing.
literally, but I just wanted to live in California for like ever. I have two aunts that live down there or out there, and we would like randomly visit for vacations like growing up. And I was like, I want to live in California. I love California. It's always warm. There are palm trees. Like I'm
Mhm.
doing it. And I hated my job in Chicago. So I just quit. I was like, now's the time. And my one aunt said that I could live with her for like a couple months. So I went and I lived with her, which was super helpful. My brother also moved at this, one of my brothers moved out there at the same time. So I was just like looking for a job. I got a job as like a food runner at, what is it called? It's a really fancy hotel. Starts with an M in Laguna. Gosh, what is it called? I don't remember. I'll think of it. And they had a really fancy like French restaurant. And I met Justin Bieber there, which was like, I was like, I am so in LA right now. I just met
You are
Justin Bieber.
so LA.
Yep. And he was like,
What
I
phase
I
of Biebs was
I
it?
was just
Was
gonna
he
say we were in the beach
okay?
blonde. He was not well, I don't think,
Okay.
but he was like the bleached hair, and he just like looked a hot mess. He wasn't with Haley yet, but I've like randomly seen Justin Bieber many times because I used to go to this like church out in LA that a bunch of famous people went to, and I've seen like Justin Bieber with Haley Bieber like multiple times there. So Justin and I are pretty
Wow.
tight. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
but the first time I
Had
saw
no
him, I was so mad
idea.
because I was like wearing like a suit and had like a ponytail because it was this fancy, and that was like the uniform. I was like, this is how I'm meeting Justin Bieber. Like, are we
You're like,
kidding?
I look like a penguin. I look
I
like a
literally
penguin and I'm
am a
meeting Justin
penguin.
Bieber.
Yes. It was so frustrating. But yeah, so I met him there, and then
Things probably
I
would
ended
have
up
gone
getting,
differently if you hadn't had
I
the
know,
penguin suit on.
I know. Or
Jeez.
like at least had my hair down. He could see the luscious locks. I don't know. Caitlin
Yeah.
Bieber. Um,
Jeez.
JK's last name. But then I was like, okay, so I want to work in video. I previously had been working in like media, and I ended up getting a job as an assistant video editor for a company called Tone It Up. It's like a fitness nutrition company. And
Yeah,
basically,
I
like,
know
do
that.
you know them? I was like, if you know them,
Yeah.
like you love them, and if you don't know them, you have no idea who they are. But I worked
Yes.
there for,
They were kind of the original like Instagram
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
fitness
like the
model.
social fitness people, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're all over YouTube. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
interviewed with
That's
them and like got the
crazy.
job. Yeah, so I ended up working. I think I got promoted within the first like month, and then like promoted again like very soon after that. So I ended up being their video coordinator and editor. I want to say for like 3 or 4 years. I can't remember, 3.5 maybe. But that's what I was doing in LA, and that's kind of like my first intro to social media, I guess, and like seeing it. It was a TIU_Caitlin account, which like anyone who worked at Tone It Up, like people just like really wanted to be your friend because you worked with the bosses, which were Karina and Katrina, and they were like
Oh
obsessed
my
with them.
gosh.
So I was like TIU Caitlin, and like I would like post things and had like 300 followers, but I was like, people know me. They know who I am and that I work at Turn It Up. And it's actually so funny because one of our friend Jenna's friends, Casey, she works in sports and she's great. She had wanted like she follows me on Instagram, and like before we had met, we just like followed each other on Instagram, and she asked me to like chat on the phone one day to talk about like sports and jobs and careers and like just get advice from like my side of things. So I was talking to her and she ended up telling me that she knew who I was before sports because she knew me as TIU Caitlin. I was like, what?
What?
I was like, that's crazy. That's actually
That's why.
crazy. Yeah. So that was my California life.
That is all so California.
You have no idea. Like our office was literally on the beach. Like there's a thing in Manhattan Beach called the Strand, which is like basically like a big old sidewalk that's right in front of all these mansions, and then the beach is right beyond it. So like we could see the ocean from our office. We would like go to the beach and like drink rosé at sunset and do photo shoots. And like my breaks would be like
My dream.
walking on the beach. I know. My breaks were like walking on the beach. And like the running joke was there would always be surfers. Always. Any time of the day there were surfers. And I'd be like, what do you guys do for a living and how do I do it? Because that looks
But
nice.
but you're also at the
But I'm
beach?
also on the
Like,
beach.
was this your blonde phase too?
Oh
You went
yeah. I
full
was so
California?
blonde.
Okay. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh.
I was so
Wow.
blonde.
And you moved back to Chicago. Why?
I know. I had my niece,
I
Reese the
mean, love
niece.
my city. I
Mm-hmm. I
California.
know.
We share the same love for the beaches, the
Yeah.
sunsets, the
Yep.
dolphins.
Yep.
I'm with
I
you.
see dolphins every time. I think I was a dolphin in another life. Matt and I always talk about how we would go back to California in a second if it wasn't for my family. I'm like, Matt, he's such a boy, so he's like, I'll go, they'll come. And his sister lives in California too, so it's nice because he'd get to see his nieces and nephews. But the reason I moved back was because my niece was 2, gonna be 2, and she didn't know me very well because I remember when I moved back, I like went to visit her and like she'd get excited to see me. We would FaceTime a lot, but she'd get excited to see me and they call me KK because I couldn't say Caitlin. So she'd be like, KK, and be so excited. But then when I got there, she'd like hide behind her dad, like she didn't want to hug me. And I was like, can't have this. I have to be the favorite aunt. So I gotta go back. And my brother and sister-in-law told me that they had my nephew on the way, so I was like, there's gonna be 2 of them. Now I gotta go back. And now there's 3, so it's like,
Yeah,
how do I leave? You know? And my other brothers are probably
I
gonna
get
have
it.
kids soon, so I'm just like, can everyone just move to California? Can we all just do it?
Yeah. And
The
that's the
Cubs
problem.
too.
You have a
Baseball
big
has to move to
family.
California. I know.
So
I
that's a
know.
lot of people to convince with spouses and
Yeah.
everything else.
And it's hard as a girl because I feel like as the only girl in the siblings, it's like
Of
I
course.
feel like I just care so much about everybody and need everybody to be okay at all times. And I'm anxious about everyone's health and wealth and happiness. And I'm just like, I
Yep.
can't leave. What if you need me? What if you need
I'm
me? I'm the
familiar.
girl. Yep. We are the glue.
Yeah. The boys aren't going to do anything.
Never.
Gosh,
No.
respectfully,
Yeah. We love them and we hate them.
we love them.
Love to hate
But
them, hate to
okay,
love
so
them.
you have 3 nieces and nephews, right?
Yep.
Now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you have recently stepped into the beautiful role of dog mom,
Yep.
added to
Motherhood.
the resume. How has it changed your life? Tell me
It
all about it.
has. It has. I don't know if I can say for the better. I'm tired a lot. It drives me crazy. I saw a TikTok that was like 7 a.m. I will die for this. I will die for this dog, and then 7 p.m. selling for $10 on Marketplace. I'm like, I relate. I relate
Yep.
so hard. He's so
Yep.
cute. He is so so cute, and such a little sweetie pie. And he gets so like the second I go downstairs, he's gonna like freak out because like, oh my gosh, mom, where have you been? But when he gets in his like terrorizer phase, I'm like, brother,
Yeah.
we got to stop with the biting, stop with the barking, like let's chill
Mhm.
out. But like he's cute, so what are you gonna do? He peed on the couch the other day,
Yeah.
so that was something that happened.
That's a
I was like,
nice
this
white
is new.
couch too.
Yeah. I was like, this is new for you. This is your first time, and hopefully the last. sir.
Well, Matt spilled pasta sauce on it and you kept him,
Oh
so
my gosh, that was the craziest thing ever. And like the day that you were like, it's a white couch. Don't eat over here. He spills pasta
yeah.
on it. Red sauce, mind you, on a white couch. He has not eaten over there since.
My gosh. That's
Yeah.
funny. Are you taking little Blue to any training,
We
puppy
are
class?
ironic that you asked that because today we're going to training for the first time, except we go the first time without Blue.
Oh.
So I don't really know why.
What?
I don't know. So Matt and I are getting trained today. But
Interesting.
yeah, but
Okay.
training today and we're going to leave him at home and see how he does. He did 3 hours home by himself yesterday because we had a fun little ER visit, as you
Oh,
know. But he didn't pee at all. Like didn't do
oh,
anything
that's
bad. And we were like
great.
watching him on our camera and he was just barking away, but then he'd go and lay down. And then he'd be barking away and then he'd go lay down. But I was like, okay, at least like I know that we can leave you for a little bit and like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's what we're
that's
doing
great.
today. Yeah.
That's great. That's why, because, we were talking last week and I
Mhm.
was like, listen, I don't want to overstep. I feel like
Yeah.
it's parenting advice and you know, people get real sensitive about it. But I was like, as someone who has a dog with severe separation anxiety, I was like, yeah, you got to get out of the house. You got to go.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm like, he'll cry, which we're like doing things with him now. We're like, we'll leave the room for like 30 seconds and then come back. So he knows that we come back. It's like
Yeah.
in those 30 seconds, he's like crying away. I'm like, dude, I'm right here. Like, you're
Yeah.
going to be fine.
Yeah.
Chill.
It's okay.
It's a
Yeah.
process.
It's funny because I've never actually done the puppy phase because we had childhood
Yeah.
dogs where like your parents do all the work. And then Kevin had Chevy. I came into the picture. I mean, we were friends, so I knew Chevy
Yeah.
as just the little terror that he
Yeah.
was,
But he wasn't your
just like
child yet.
Kevin. I was like, these two
Yeah.
are just like a match made in heaven. And then when Chevy was like 4.5, 4.5 or 5 was when Kevin went to the Marines, and then I had him full time.
And that's like
So that
teenage
was
phase for dogs.
yeah, well, in labs, I think after 4, they just, like, chill. It's like I mean, they're still very high energy, but it's like they can, like, be normal
Yeah.
opposed to the first 4 years where it's just like I mean, you have to run them all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
I literally cannot
So
wait until we can take Blue for a walk because he's still not vaccinated yet. So he just got his second to last vaccination this week, and then he has the next one, his rabies one, in like 2 weeks, and then we can take him on walks. But I'm like, I can't
oh,
wait because we're gonna
nice.
get so much of your energy out. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be a huge difference. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even realize that. See?
Yeah.
Didn't do the puppy face. No idea.
Yep. We're just running
No
around
idea.
couches at this point. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But I'm going to the home opener tomorrow, and and I'm so excited because I get a little break.
You get a break. And this is, I mean,
Hmm.
you've been waiting for this for months, really, since last season, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say Matt was just on a bachelor party, and I was alone with the dog for 4 nights, and that was exhausting. So Mama needs a break.
You need a break. Go to Wrigley, have a beer, have a hot
Mhm.
dog.
Yep.
What is your all time best memory at Wrigley Field?
That's a good question. I'm like, I wanna say see, I'm a little biased because I got to do cool things. Where, like, I got to be on the field and, like, do stuff. So, like, the coolest for me as, like, somebody that, works with them, I guess, would be I don't remember what game it was, but we got to go early and like I literally pitched to Clark, the mascot, in the outfield. So before the game, I was in the outfield pitching to him, and as he was hitting balls into the stands, and like I got to meet the players and like talk to people, and like I just like got to do a lot of cool things on Wrigley Field. Actually, wait, the coolest was before I even made content, and it wasn't a game, but it was when we won the World Series, and Nicole I don't know how I didn't think of this first. Nicole worked for the Cubs and I lived in LA. I came back for the World Series, so I was like once in a lifetime. Like if we win,
Yeah.
I have to be in Chicago. And her husband Wes is a doctor and he was doing residency in Florida. So he couldn't be back. So we won. And then after you win, there's like the parade, the rally, like all these celebrations, and Nicole had a +1 to everything, and she knew I was back. She knows I'm a big Cubs fan. She's like, "Do you want to come?" I was like, "Yes." So like little blonde Caitlin, still in her LA era, not making sports content or content at all. I was like on the trolley during the parade. I was like front row at the rally. I got to go to like the Cubs party afterwards, but like the coolest part of it was after like everything and like before like the party, we got to walk around Wrigley Field with glasses of champagne. I'm like steps away from Ryan Sandberg, who was like one of all-time favorite players, and
Yeah.
fireworks are going off. I'm like, this is the coolest thing I'm ever going to experience in my life, probably.
A dream.
Yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
was so cool. So
That
cool.
is
And I have so many
so
pictures.
cool.
Yeah.
That's like top sports moment of all
Yeah.
time, I feel like.
Yeah. Especially the Cubs. Like, I feel like a lot of Chicago teams haven't won championships in a while, but the Cubs, it was 108 years. And I
It's
got to be there
crazy.
for like the time that we win. Like, that, it was just so cool.
That's so cool. And I mean, even if they do win again soon, it's
Hmm.
like there's not that long awaited anticipation.
Yeah.
Like it will still be
Right.
amazing, but yeah, that's pretty special. How do you think they're going to do this season?
Hopefully good. I mean, last year I didn't really know what was going to I feel like the past few years I'm like, I don't know. Like, I hope good, but I don't know because last year I didn't really think that we were going to be like anything crazy. And then like we did really well, actually. Like, I thought that there was a
Well,
chance that we
and
could maybe, what are you going to say?
no, I was gonna say, and baseball season is so long.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's so much different than football. Like baseball, basketball, hockey,
Hmm.
you can go like
Yeah.
this and then end up here.
Right.
But
Exactly.
football, there's so few games. It's
Yeah,
like that really determines your season. So it's kind of
for
a
sure.
roller coaster where I feel
Yeah.
like you can't really even tell until like June or July
I know. It's
how
like the
good
first
they
couple of
are.
months, like, do they matter? Do they matter? I don't know.
Right. Like
The
what's
first
going
month,
on
for
here?
sure, it's like we're just figuring this out still. And it's funny because it's like
Right.
spring training. Spring training matters 0% because it's like literally just practice because your team could do so well in spring training and then absolutely stink during the season, or they could absolutely stink during spring training and like win the World Series. You don't know because a lot of times you're like
Yeah.
playing your like your farm system. But I don't know. I'm hoping we do well. We have PCA back, obviously, for the next 6 years. Heck yes. And then we just got Bregman. So I feel like that'll be fun. Um, Matt famously does not like Bregman, but I'm going to convince him considering we hope that he brings another World Series to Chicago.
Yeah.
But excited to see what he does. Um, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to be decent for sure. If we win the World Series, amazing. Do I know if we're going to be there yet? No. I can't confidently say I think that we're going to be like one of the best teams, but I think I can confidently say we're not going to be one of the worst. I think we're going to be mid-tier and above for sure. Hopefully higher to the top.
Okay.
Very vague answer.
Heard it here first. No, it's good. It was a political answer. You
Heard it
covered a
heard
little
it
bit
here
everything.
first. The Cubs might be good. The Cubs might be good, maybe.
At the end of the season, we can clip it and be like, dude, she called it.
Caitlin said it.
She called it. Oh
It
my
is so
gosh.
hard to predict a baseball season because you never
No,
know.
it is.
Especially with like injuries, I feel like people are always getting injured. So like
Yeah.
you just don't know.
No, it is. It's tough.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite player growing up? Or I guess favorite player of all time?
Ryan Sandberg was definitely one of the top. In more recent years, Anthony Rizzo. I love Rizzo. Always have,
Love
always will. I
him.
just feel like he's like a fun player
He
in
was
like
the first player
personality.
I interviewed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've
I
never
was
interviewed him.
Little Rockford news girl.
Oh my gosh,
Had to
that's
go to
so
Wrigley
cool.
Field opening day. And I was like,
Wait, that's so cool.
hey,
Mr. Rizzo?
because of course he would stop and was like, yeah,
So
I'll talk to
nice.
you. You're
Yeah.
like struggling over there. So sure, what can I do to help? A
He's
nice
one of the players
man.
that I haven't met, and I'm like so sad about it because I started making content after like the Rizzo Bryant Schwarber era.
Uh,
And I was so
and
sad.
Schwarber's my guy from Indiana, you know?
Yeah. I love
Go
Schwarber.
Hoosiers.
I'm so sad that we lost him because I mean
I
he's
wore my
crushing it in
shirt for
Philly.
you today.
I love it. Did we
Cubs
get
win.
that together,
No,
or did we go to a
the
gaming
shirt
award
we
or
got
something?
to, yeah, probably.
Are you gonna talk about the
I
overalls?
borrowed it from my friend Lauren Klopmeyer in like, I don't know, freshman year of high school and never gave it back.
Borrowed
So
it.
it's a good one.
Borrowed it
And no,
forever.
I had on the Chicago flag sweatshirt, and then I went to do a frother thing in my coffee, and it exploded everywhere, and so we had
That
to do a
happens.
quick little change here last
I feel
minute.
like I've seen this shirt though, and I love this shirt, and I need one like it because I
Thank you.
don't have one like it.
Well, you too can borrow it forever.
And never give it back.
Yeah. I could talk to you forever. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Out Route. Let's go to a game at Wrigley soon.
Yes, please come back to Chicago. We miss you.